Hi!
Well, this is FridgeArt. I'm Andrea Radick.
And I'm Kristen Plesko.
What were you saying?
Oh, because I'm still in the process of putting stuff away. I probably don't have.
You can find something on PhotoBucket.
Yeah, that's true. I do have a photo bucket full of garbage.
Yep.
So,
like most artists have a photo bucket just full of trash.
Yep. Good.
Now I'm gonna be eating as I talk because
You're a classy person.
Well, I also woke up at 11:40, and then I sort of stayed in bed reading a little bit, and then I was talking with Lep about I paid him for the first part of the laptop from him.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, you got.
we were trying to figure out shipping and smelling your feet. Okay, so what are we in the mood for today?
Do you have anything cat related?
Let's see. Yeah, maybe we could do this one. It's a cat.
All right, let's see
Right.
it. Oh, Andrea.
So this was a commission for.
Is it an accent?
A what?
Is it an accent? It looks a lot like her character.
No, it's not an accent. It's
of the-
Blue Uncia. Is the name.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm gonna be completely honest. I thought this panther cat had an extremely long vagina. Because it sort of looks like a long clefted vagina. I'm just going to say it. It looks like it's presenting its long vagina to me, and I feel very uncomfortable. Also, its face is very cartoony, so I'm seeing its realistically rendered furry vagina, and then it's cartoony smile and eyes, and it's just...
So
does it not look like that to you? I mean...
No, well, that's the thing, is I had this in a folder, and I didn't... This is literally the first time I've looked at it, and yeah, that is exactly what I said. I thought it just looked like a big distended butthole, personally.
No, it starts at about... Well, I mean, it'd have to start a little higher, but...
Quite a bit higher than just past the ass.
Or it's a cloaca, just all of them combined. Some
So-
sort of extended cloaca.
They have this... It's like this tiger lion thing that has 3 foxtails. Again, it's been a while. This one, I think I did that in maybe 2011. 2010 or 2011.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, that's about right. As I drink my hot chocolate. But, yeah, they really liked it.
Well, that's good. Why
Got
is
an early version of my signature with a really
Yeah?
tiny eye on the top of it.
Why is it on something blue? Does it have hair? Is that hair? Oh my god, is that hair? I thought it was literally just a little puddle or something, and it was head was in it.
It's like a lion's mane.
Oh.
It's like anime.
Okay,
hair.
I've never seen this character. I literally thought it was. That's why I thought it was the character.
In a puddle.
I thought it was literally just had its head in a puddle or on a cloth or something.
Oh, let me make this a little bit bigger.
It's not. It's a little too dark for me to make out that it's hair.
Yeah, no, I mean, and this is, of course, still on, my old, crappier monitors where everything... We can just take it over here. Wow! And see how you can see a lot more of that blue hair and stuff over here, but you bring it over here, and it becomes super contrasty.
Yeah.
Shitty monitors be shitty. Yeah.
Well, don't get shitty monitors.
I didn't. That's why I have this new monitor. It's entirely less shitty.
Go back in time and buy the Dell ones, because the Dell ones are pretty good.
The laptop that I'm getting also has a nice IPS monitor, so...
What monitor? What
Asus. Like last year's Asus.
When I checked last, Asus didn't... The only companies that had IPS monitors were literally Lenovo, who likes to sell your information to China, and then Apple, who likes to take all your money. And that was basically my choices when I was looking into replacing my laptop, so I said, no, that's okay. And then I got a CD drive. I took out my CD drive and put another drive in it, because I'm not paying $3,000 for another laptop.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either, but...
It lasts a long time, but...
I feel like let's see if we can just turn this around. Yeah.
I
think that
looks
helps
even
things.
more like a cleft vagina. Also, its face is weird. It has a chin.
I had Yeah, I didn't realize that until just now. That looks like a fucked up cartoon character. Like, I get my milk from cat dish. Like it just has this really.
Just womb out today, womb out yesterday. Oh jeez, it's really weird because like the cleft is like perfectly in the middle, but it has 3 tails. Like why?
I don't know. Well, obviously, I was trying to do like a lounging cat thing. You know,
cats are really gross lounging.
Well, we were trying to get one of my cats to lay down, so just that sort of like flopped over thing. But yeah, I think I'd spent a lot of time on the face.
Did you?
To no avail.
Did you? Because it looks like he spent more time on the barrel chest.
I know. He looks like a bullet with a head. And like he has.
Well, that's the problem with cats is that they're kind of wrinkly, amorphous blobs. Like that's all cats are. Like they're not muscular beasts.
As we can demonstrate with Kit Romney, who we had to give him a new shave again yesterday because he was getting mats because he's got long hair.
His butthole is visible now.
Well, you know what? He's always got it.
I know.
Just picture it like an X, like they do in Japanese animes and such, and everything will be fine.
It's just, man,
he's like a velvet ham.
It's just that cats present it to you. Like, they're like, yeah, this is my butthole. And they have
they're not really.
Straight up. Their tail is straight up.
It's because they're happy. It's not because they're trying to flaunt their buttholes.
Could you imagine if people did that and they just presented their butthole whenever they were happy? Because
he's not presenting a butthole when he's happy. He just puts his tail up. And now he's inquisitive and slightly worried. Because he's still all spooked from running around and all sorts of shit earlier. Yeah. So, like, the other part I'm noticing is this fucking white blue part, like, right below this hand.
Yeah, it's...
Where it just sort of goes to nowhere. It just... It looks like he has... It looks like he's got, like, a weird frog leg or something. Like, it... Cause,
here? I know.
Because, like...
Is it a...
It's a guy.
Oh, it is a guy? Okay. I can't tell. Because I'm not an expert at animal anatomy.
Especially when that anatomy's done really poorly.
I don't see a penis, so I have to assume female because of the cleft tail there. But,
well,
did they not want a realistic penis?
I've never drawn, like, smutty animal artwork.
Hey.
Which we've gone over before.
Hey, there is a big market for that.
There is, and I'm fine letting other people take that market. I don't mind not doing that, so...
Hey, if someone pays me money for it, I'm a whore.
You heard it
I'll
here.
do it.
Kristen will draw anything.
You heard it right from the horse's mouth. I'm just a whore, and I will draw something nice.
Sure, I've got a full-time job, and I don't really need money, but if you need me to draw just a big red dog dick... I'm all over it.
I draw the line at big, red rockets, because those are kind of, like, that's not even, like, they even look silly. Like, it's just, like, how...
It's like a plastic toy.
It really does.
At least the way people draw it. I don't go looking around at dog penises. Kristen.
One time I was petting a dog and it
oh my god.
No, it wasn't, like, all out, but it was, like... peeking out, and it was at when my grandmother had Alzheimer's and she was at like the home, there was like a dog that was there for comfort, a comfort dog.
What type of comfort?
Very sexual comfort.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, it peeked out a little bit. It's pretty red. I didn't see all of it. I didn't want to look at it, but you can't help it. You're gonna look at it.
I don't know what he's doing. He's check.
Like, people are like, well, you looked at it? It's like, of course you do. Because you see something bright and red and spooky down there, and you're like, okay, that's Halloween-related word. Spooky.
What the fuck are you doing, Kit Romney?
Is he scared by his tail?
No, he's got big giant eyes. He wants to play.
He's just, like...
sort of thrashing around. Can you not ruin the blinds? Can you just fucking
play with the other cat?
He's having fun just entertaining himself.
Well, there we go.
He's at the top of a cat tower and it has like a circular sleeping pad that has walls on it, and he's just sort of like, he sort of has his head like down by the bottom of it, and he's just his eyes are huge and
being weird. I don't
He's happy.
He's
fine.
like digging his face into the corner of the...
That's what a cat does. He's very excited right now, and if I were to give him that foxtail that I have in the closet, he would go apeshit for it. He's fine. Maybe he's got a hold of some catnip. I don't know.
I don't understand cats.
Yeah. But...
So I don't own them. They're cute. But I can just go outside and pet the cats in my neighborhood.
Dog penises.
But yeah. No, that was my experience with a dog penis.
Yeah. It's fucking weird. Oh,
I wasn't like sexually stimulated. I was literally just petting him, and I guess he was excited because he's a dog.
Just don't want to talk about dog penises. That's all. I don't care if you weren't sexually stimulated. Well, you know what?
I wasn't like the woman from the 60s that ended up giving handjobs to the dolphin or whatever.
Okay, this is definitely...
Okay, this is rated PG-13 for...
It's not PG-13 if we're talking about a woman giving a handy to a dolphin. Okay?
That was an article you can read at any age. It was in the 60s, and it was a time when LSD was present in a lot of medical experiments.
Humans and dolphins...
Apparently they gave the dolphins LSD. They were really weird back then.
Yeah, no, they were.
Okay.
60s were definitely a weird time. As I was saying, it's like, I ran a Twitch stream the other day, and I said something looked like dildos, or like, hey, there are kids in here. I'm like, I am not the fucking gatekeeper for children's innocence. Like, I'm not gonna stop children like, oh, he's laying down in a naughty pose. Maybe,
He's being coy.
And then they're like, 11-year-olds
they know what it
do
is.
Minecraft. Yeah, that's the thing, is like...
They know what a penis is. No, I mean, like...
Maybe not so much
dildos, that Eminem... You know that Eminem song where it's like, there was I think he actually mentioned that in one of his...
swallow my hot chocolate.
I'm not even going to repeat it, but, it's just... He basically...
They got the Discovery Channel,
don't they? Yeah, no. That one.
And I also remember, and somebody said, like shit, and they also were like, hey! Come on!
Yeah!
Be an adult. I am being an adult, I'm saying shit, and no, like...
What? People are sometimes, and of course I understand, like, I would like to be more polite, but sometimes I just can't help myself, and I guess my vocabulary needs to expand.
I like to think of here and Twitch as my last, bastion of saying whatever the fuck I want to, because, I do provide...
Andrea, children.
Whatever.
Frick is the correct term.
Whatever the frickin' heck I want to.
Don't say frick. It's too close to fuck. You must say something different.
Frackin' hick.
There you go. Fracking is a word. Also, it's dirty. Don't use it.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's flipping around.
Yeah, I can hear him.
But yeah, my artwork, my cutesy artwork does bring in a much younger audience, which to me is really weird.
I don't envy
that. And
it
weirds me out.
Because...
And having, children oh, my 3-year-old likes your drawings. And I'm used to drawing, big fucking scary monsters and all sorts of shit. And I'm oh yeah, no, I also have all these doe-eyed animals that I do for a living. And
Yep.
And then they watch me on Twitter, and then
Yep.
all of a sudden I can't say, what the fuck is this person doing? Oh, this person is incorrect. It just...
Yeah.
I can't do that.
That sounded like the biggest fart to me.
It was me dragging my nails...
Okay, yeah, now it sounds... Yeah.
Dragging my nails across my cloth chair that I need to replace, because it's bad for my back.
You can reupholster it.
No, I don't... It's just that the shape is just a fucking box, and it's not good for me to sit in. My back has been hurting like a bitch, which is why I'm gonna go...
What you could do is you can
Get a
do
mattress
crunches and sit on a ball,
Or-
like all those classy people.
I can sleep in a bed that hasn't slowly started resembling a hammock and actually get some support, and then stop waking up or having back pain like I've been doing the last week.
How can you have... Well, how do you sleep? Do you sleep on your back?
I can't really sleep on my stomach because it's like sleeping like this now and it hurts.
Hey, I sleep like that all the time.
Well, you have a flat surface as well, and you're not sunken into it. It's literally
Well, I don't have that bed anymore, so so yeah, I may have donated my bed and 5 bedroom set furnitures and most of my fish tanks, and
it was a lot easier to move, wasn't it?
It was the most glorious damn thing I've ever done in my life, and I have no regrets, and I'm gonna get a tax break next year, and it's gonna be glorious to the nth degree.
Yep.
So, but yeah, we should probably continue talking about your
Let's talk about this sexy
sexual
cat. So
yeah.
its hands are sort of like people hands. Like the one on its stomach is sort of like a weird, like malformed people mitt. Like,
to me, it kind of looks like a bear paw.
It looks like if somebody had extensive burns on their hands and they lost like their end digits. Or have you ever seen those?
I don't usually look at that.
There's
I'm usually too busy rubbing male dogs, I guess.
Yeah, there's sexually pleasing dolphins in the 60s. There's a friend of mine, she did an illustration one time where it was to show what declawing would look like on people, and she removed the end digits. But it looked sort of hilarious. It just looked like they had like crazy box hands. And that's what this looks like to me. So it's missing the digits. Like it's end digits if it was a human hand.
It kind of does.
And then like its wrist, quote unquote, to its elbow is pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah, it looks like it just has a three-jointed... Like, it reminds me, you know how Animorphs would always describe the transformation and, like, my knees were turning backwards, even though that's anatomically not what happens?
Yeah.
You know, even though it's just kind of... To me, that's what it looks like, that arm right there. It just...
Well, it's like the shoulder is right up on the head. Like...
Well, that's just
there's
kind of
no
what
neck.
Tigers do. Tigers...
No.
Well, they kind of have
You don't
like
have to excuse this. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, it's
neck.
terrible.
Technically, its neck would be, like, at least to here, and its shoulder would start, like,
Yeah, okay.
here. Not way the fuck up in cheek country.
The darkness was confusing. Other than that, he could also be he could be doing like
he just looks like he.
Yeah.
I think I'll just keep this mostly upside down for the review. He just looks like he has like this big. He looks like he has 80 shoulder pads, like way the fuck up.
Who says he doesn't?
Whatever we wanna pretend like
he wants the men in the workplace to know that he means serious business.
But just on the one side.
Also, he's male, so that wouldn't. I mean,
well, he's displaying his dominance right now
for
a cat.
Those 80s computers don't buy themselves.
He does look like a power executive, doesn't he?
He reminds me of
God,
Maximilian Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of his long flowing hair and his golden eye.
Look at his fucking teeth.
Yeah,
look at his
You didn't render that good.
Don't say that.
Oh my god! When you zoom in closer, it actually kind of gets worse because then also his hair is just kind of cut off at the very like top of his head. Like why?
Because it's going partially. He's got like a widow's peak.
No, it's not
like
that. It's just that
peak.
it's like straight on the top. Like he has almost like a mullet cut.
This?
No,
it's because that's on the ground.
Oh, that's not very good.
Well, that's why it's in the shit folder.
Also, like, wouldn't he have white on this part of his mouth, like the?
That was not part of the character thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not a blue tiger.
I forgive you. Then I was talking about his upper lip area. I guess a lot of cats have the white fur. On that too.
No, I mean that would definitely make sense as a natural design, but just the character just had like a blue bottom of the jaw.
I would have done it and see if the commissioner noticed. I'm just going to tweak your character a little bit to make it more sense.
Make this better. Okay.
Sorry, if you're hearing this, commissioners, if I've tweaked something before.
Well, that's the thing. Is like Blue Uncia still talks to me occasionally. If she does hear this, you know, like I said, we're not critiquing this out of spite, and we're not critiquing this against your character. We're just saying I did a shitty job, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I've done to your character.
I'm sorry for taking your money and giving you this.
And I'm sorry that it looked nice back then. But I have to tell you, it doesn't look nice. It looks. Maybe I'll just like repaint the head to apologize.
God, its eyes are like the pupils are like not going the same direction. They're like, you know.
Yeah.
Like one pupil is going one way, and one pupil is like angled.
Like this, and one is like.
Yeah, usually pupils are horizontal to each other or perpendicular. Not perpendicular. It's even worse. Parallel. If they're perpendicular, you have a gecko on your hands.
Yeah.
But,
it's a bit of a gecko.
Oh, you know what I found out? Speaking of, like goats and stuff, how any horizontally pupiled animal, apparently when they lean down to go get food, their eyes will actually move in their sockets, so their pupil will always be horizontal to the ground or parallel to the ground. It's really disgusting. And when I learned about it, I'm like, ugh, their eyes move in their socket. It's so gross. So now you know. So when you see a horse,
outraged, but I got a mouthful of scone.
You know it'll make you fat.
Good.
Yes. Yeah,
So
this is so bad.
its ears look like dog ears. Your ears are like dog ears. Yeah, no, its ears are like dog ears. This one's flopped over for some fucking reason. Like, its head is, like, up and straight down.
Why is that ear flopped over?
Because I don't know.
Because, like,
it doesn't have the back of a head, and it's just doing, like a fucking exorcist, where it's just, like, raised up on its barrel-chested body.
He looks like he's doing, like, a crunch or something, and, like, he's, like... So that's why he's in such an uncomfortable position? What was that?
It was me getting a text message.
Okay.
Probably from my mom, so...
Yeah, also his, like, little, like... hands are really weird. Like, they are kind of...
Well, let's do... So,
the face?
Let's
face?
just go through this in a uniform fashion. This hair is... It has this mix of, like, overly detailed strands and also, like, blurring. So it's got, like, a chunk of hair, and then it just has hair coming out this side, like over here.
For me, personally, it's the way you shaded it with, like, black that really, really bothers me, because I hate that color blue, and it would be so much prettier with some other color in it. Mm-hmm. And it was your fault.
I know.
You didn't do this character justice.
This, I feels that way, definitely looking at it now. It doesn't have any real definition beneath its eye, like, it doesn't have any anatomy.
Yeah, it's very anime right there.
Well, it's very flat, so it's literally just like the same color, so you can't tell that this snout comes out at all. It just sort of looks like a big banana peel.
To me, it looks like
face.
his nose is like almost like a snub nose, and then it just extends, and then his chin is just jutting out there, because that's what it looks like. Like, it looks like he got punched on the left part of his face. I guess if he's upside down,
this should not be the back of a jaw. Also, that wouldn't make any sense. It's just like, just like coming out the side with his
they had to do
teeth.
something.
Well, yeah, and everything is sort of like shooped forward like a banana face. Like you said, it looks like it just comes out like a big shovel.
It's
And then for some reason, I have light on this white part of his cat beard. But then no fucking light on the top part of the exact same area. So that's why it looks like it's just like... It looks like a muskie. That's what it looks like.
What the hell is a muskie?
It's a fish that has a very large overbite.
Oh, okay.
Or it just has... I think it has an overbite.
Like fossils when they are deformed with time. That's basically... He looks like he had a skull that was deformed by time, and then his flesh was built around it.
Yeah, then he had an artist rendering of
shit. It's an artist... It's like the forensics. Like, this is... this is as he lived.
So he's got these big shoulder pads, this forearm area, which this is supposed to be the elbow here, I think. But it goes down, but it doesn't look like it goes down.
Oh, no.
And then this one, this is supposed to be the elbow here, but then it's still, like, this shoulder would still be like, pretty much by his nose.
Yeah, he's doing a crunch.
you know?
Yeah.
And then his chest just has these big fucking cross brushed locks. Yeah. Like, they're just... There's, like, a big fucking tuft over here, and then...
He's like a hot dog with a fur coat on him.
He doesn't even look like a fur coat, though. It just looks like a hot dog with, like...
Faux fur.
Like, wet hair that was inappropriately brushed. Just... It doesn't look natural at all. It looks...
It definitely... It looks like a... Well, it looks like an airbrushed,
And then...
Oh, God, that cleft. That every time I see it, I'm just like, that is literally in the shape of a vagina. I just... it's like... I don't know. It's just...
And then it becomes, like, putty here, which apparently just... Part of his hip. Because as this is the normal way... Let me move it back up. As this is the normal way, this is still seeing a lot more of this part of his body than you would. Like, if this is just his belly and stuff, you wouldn't see just, like... This way fucking...
Unless he was really fat.
Maybe unless he was really fat, but he wasn't.
But you would see it on the other side, because my parents' dog, Sadie, whenever she lays down like that, she has a lot of, like, extra fat skin that just kind of, like... she's like a 90-pound lab, so she's gigantic, but... Yeah,
or even when the cat... Maybe that's what it was, is the cat that I was referencing. Because I used a reference. Can't you tell?
No.
Yeah, I know,
I
that's
can't.
bad.
That's...
But the cat I was referencing was very fat and fluffy. But still, it looks like frog legs with this leg here. And then it has, like, the smallest knee. And then, like, shin
And then
area.
it just blends into the tail.
Well, I mean, And then I really like this foot here.
Ugh.
Because this is the foot I drew on everything. Where it's essentially just a rectangle with toes at the bottom.
You do tend to like rectangles with toes? Like, you like chunk hands?
I love chunk hands. I'm not going to deny my love for chunk hands.
To me, it just reminds me of, like, you know, like sock and boppers? That's basically, sometimes I want to sing, like, sock and boppers, more fun than a pillow fight, you know.
Blow 'em up, put your hand inside,
get ready to have the time of your life, sock and boppers.
Advertising was too strong.
For Bill Bradley.
We're taking them off the shelves because people have been getting seriously injured. Because it puts a lot of pressure and a lot of force behind a punch.
It is, I always had to skip it. Skip it. Skip it.
The only time I got to play with the skip it, it was at church. And, like, I was wearing shorts, and, like, the inside of the ring and the skip it is, like, sharp. So it just felt like it was, like, fucking, like grinding with my foot. And I'm like, I don't like playing this. And then I think I, like, whacked myself in either in, like, the back of the leg or the ass with the skip it.
Because you're really bad at skip it then.
Well,
Jeez.
you know what? I wasn't privileged to have a skip.
Socks. I wore my sneakers and socks along with my cute little overalls.
No, I definitely just did it on like bare skin. I'm like, ah! And it's just chewing through my
It's literally the cheapest plastic. It has
sharpest.
like the imperfections because that's where they like took it out of the mold.
Yeah. It has like the warbles. Yeah, it felt like it was just chewing my ankle off. It's the worst. Fucking skip it.
Yeah, but that's what I think of whenever I see like your chunk hands is like the sock and boppers, more fun than a pillow fight. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
I like how this other hip here, how it's like super low compared to this one.
I was wondering what was happening with his tails, and it's going on top of the leg? Really? But there's no shadow?
It's not going on top of the leg.
Yeah, no, like
on
this
top
one? Of it. Yeah, but there's no shadow cast on the tail. What's happening?
There's already so much darkness, Kristen. You can't.
God,
it's coming around in space, obviously.
Where is the shadow under its foot?
Oh, on the tail?
Yeah.
It's just right on there. There's no shadow.
Where's the shadow on the foot, Andrea?
There's no shadow. I like how these tails just look like turds. They're just like the most
just the muddiest.
Yeah, it's the most formless just tube.
Because, like, if you think about it, he literally doesn't even have, like, an ass. He literally, his body just splits into three at the end, and then, like...
Yeah, especially if the
like,
tail is, above the ass.
Like, I'd love to draw it, and, like, it's just like if my body extruded from my ass, but it split into three, so I had, like, a three-cleft ass. Like, that's...
Yeah, it is just sort
of... And then I could just, like, flap it.
I just think of it as just, like... just having, like, belts attached to his crotch.
Or,
and
like,
just, like, having to walk over it, like, God.
Or it's like that medical condition where people have the really long labia, It's just... By the way, if you ever want to see something interesting on the internet, I highly recommend looking up the pictures from the 1900s of that stuff, because...
Don't encourage our viewers to go look at labia pictures. They're not as scientifically oriented as you and I.
I don't remember the scientific name, and then the name I remember...
Crazy labia.
Well, it was...
That shit goes out the yada.
Apparently, if you have a round, rotund ass, it apparently, like, you have a high chance of having an extended labia, and it's, like, it's really medically fascinating.
Maybe we can just consider this, like, a really long front butt. Like, a big, separated front butt. Because that's pretty much what it is. It just comes out of the crotch.
Just the cleft, Andrea, just...
I'm sorry about the cleft.
Like, no, you didn't notice this?
I did at the time, and then I worked on it so it looked better, but then it still had just this, like, dark section where it just looked like a butthole.
Well, at least you thought it was a butthole. I would assume cleft.
I think
and not a cleft
This
palate,
is definitely one of those that, like, I started painting it, I'm like, yeah, I really like painting this, and it sort of got farther along. I'm like, I forgot what I'm doing with this, and then it got towards the end, I'm like, I don't know anymore.
It's,
about this.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Also, where are his shadows, like, under his, like, front paw? Because all of a sudden the shadow, like, stops.
It's just...
And then there's, like, this blank area right underneath him. It's like, why?
How about the shadow to the tail back here, where it just looks like he's in purgatory? Oh my god, look at the artifacting on some of the shadows.
It's not good, Andrea. I don't know how to describe it to you. Also, there's no shadow at the very, very right, underneath the tail. Why is the shadow going that way? And why isn't there a shadow underneath it if there's a shadow there? Oh my god. Andrea, this isn't rocket science. Come on. Bridge fell down. What is this?
What?
I'm sorry. That was what my parents always told me when I got a math equation wrong, was the bridge fell down and people died. So I didn't like doing math. If you got the question wrong, my parents would basically say, well, the bridge fell down. You can't be an engineer if you do it this way. And it's like...
Okay, that's the part I was missing, was the engineer part. Because you're just like, oh, you didn't get that right. People died in a car accident.
Well, if you get math problems wrong, people do die. If it's an important thing you're using math problems on.
I'm just gonna eat some more scone. No.
Yeah, I'm not
a fan of... You like the big loose brush strokes?
No, because there's like a halo of white around his hair where there shouldn't be, and it actually makes me really angry. Like, this is really gross, Andrea. It's muddy. He looks like he's he looks like he basically just is like, he has like a penis shape for his like entire body, and it looks like you have a furry jacket on a penis, like a furry foreskin or something, and then it just splits into a 3-butt or a 3-gina. I'm not really sure what to call it, and then why?
It's because he's cute. This was my early version of cute stuff.
Oh no.
Take a look in between this and, like, Tassipur.
Similar
thing with Tassipur, to be fair.
Well, you didn't add, like, a cleft. My god, my foot fell asleep, and it feels like a
very
1,000...
red-looking.
No! Oh, that was very painful. Don't fucking touch it. God, you're the worst. I'm literally, like, in pain right now, and she's like, I'm just gonna slap your foot. So fun.
It's very red looking.
Yeah, because I was sitting on it.
Whose fault is that?
My fat ass. Okay.
Do we have anything more for this beautiful piece of artwork?
No, it's...
Luancia, I'm sorry.
It's cleft, it's just the cleft is almost directly in the middle. It looks like it's directly in the middle of its body, and it really bothers me. Like... I mean, and also there's a furries that, like, would have, like, 2 vaginas on their characters, so I can't always be sure.
I've seen... It was, like, a Chinese dragon that had, like, 15 vaginas all over it, and then, like, 16 dicks on it. Just like...
Well, that's where, as Yahtzee say, he needs his triple-cunted hooker, as he,
God.
That's basically...
It's been more profane than normal in this
Sorry,
one.
I'm sorry. I usually never use that word, but I am directly quoting him. And
fall asleep. How's your other foot now?
It's fine. It's a little painful, but it's
Trying to
passable.
test it?
No, because it really hurt. It basically feels like you're stabbing me with pins.
I know.
Don't do that. Why would you purposely inflict pain on others? You're just bored. You just want to hurt people. Yeah, that's
I don't talk about labias, but I hurt in other ways.
Hey,
I hurt others.
That is completely not hurting someone.
Just if they have a
you guys ever have any questions?
If you would like to talk to Kristen about your weird sexual labia penis things, Centra Dragon online.
I read a lot of weird things on Wikipedia, and then you get to, like, some people have labias that are 6 inches long, and it's like, okay.
Didn't you try showing me that during work?
No, it wasn't during work.
Okay.
I wouldn't have done that during work. Although technically medical pictures, I could, Dude, I had to look up, I had to go on what is it, Pinterest? I had to look up, like, shiny leather, and the only thing I could think of was, like, going to, like, basically a Pinterest dedicated for gay people, and sometimes they had leather chaps, but they had no ball area, so it was just their junk hanging out, or their junk was, like, incredibly rounded in their pouch for junk. I don't know, guys have weird anatomy. I don't understand.
Okay, we shouldn't say that it's for gay people. It's a
It was definitely...
That's definitely a specific subset of bondage and that sort of thing. It's not
they were
a
showing
gay
off their
people
butt
thing.
and stuff. Okay.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was.
No.
Because it was like masculine men with hair and stuff, and that seems to be more dedicated to...
I'm sure that it was for a subset of crowd, but you can't say, I went to a gay Pinterest and it just had assless chaps all over it. Like, it's,
no, I mean,
that's definitely for a
assless
specific
chaps
kink.
for women, too. Yeah. I mean,
it's for a specific kink.
Okay.
It's not just...
Okay, well...
The gay Pinterest has...
Also, they had some men kissing in there.
Everywhere.
They had some men kissing in there. I'm pretty sure that counts as gay.
I understand that it's definitely... I know it counts as gay. I'm just saying, like, you're relating it to a parent thing when it's definitely a subset thing.
Okay.
In your folders, you are in a subfolder, talking about a subfolder, but you're relating it to the entire folder.
Okay.
Which is sort of mean.
Is it? I didn't say there's anything bad about it.
You just saying you went to a gay Pinterest and found assless chaps with their ball sacks hanging out is not nice.
Okay. I'm sorry, people who enjoy that, but I did get really good references for.
There you go. You did get great references for.
Yeah. Oh, there were some other ones I found too, but I had to get off those.
All right, we'll come back with Kristen's after I sneeze. Yeah. Okay.
All right, you found it. Yeah, let me put the headphones on.
So, we've been looking through more recent stuff of Kristen's. What year would you say this is from?
2008, 2009.
Okay.
It's not that recent.
I mean, compared to, like, stuff that...
I mean, it's still, like, 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's just get the elephant out of the room. Nazis? So, you want to explain this?
This was a commission.
Sure.
So already that, no, it was, because if I drew Nazis, I would draw them in much better, I have my own favorite uniforms, as I prefer World War I uniforms, because I think the French uniforms are hilarious. Also, I have like 3 or 4 books on military uniforms from, like, World War I and World War II. I love military uniforms. However, these are not what I would consider my favorite type.
Well, for military uniforms, you have them in suits.
Yeah, a lot of...
on their arms.
Yeah, but a lot of upper people would wear the little Nazi band. But, they were Nazis, and...
Is one of them part zombie?
One of them is a murderer, I think. I from what I remember...
One with a knife?
It's the one with a knife, you're right. And
he's Chinese.
For some reason, this is not the finished version, and I didn't want her to awkwardly look through my photos.
We found leagues of Kristen's porn. And apparently... Kristen and her friend used to draw porn of their red-haired and blonde woman characters.
Hey, you guys, everyone did this except apparently for Andrea, so...
Yeah, let's not single out Andrea or anything.
Yes, I'm singling you out. No, we're normal, young, teenage girls.
Basically,
laughing.
Everybody looked like they were made of wax, because everybody was sweating profusely.
Well, we didn't
like,
know what...
Go to the next one! And it's just like, doing the one in the butt, and she's like, do the next one!
I was like, I wanted her to go past them quickly, and she was just like, let's just make it as awkward as possible and look at these for a couple seconds each.
No, we went past it, and then I went back to it, and then you're like, oh, actually, you have to trudge through the porn to find the finished version of this.
and we couldn't find it.
Twice, there and back.
We couldn't find it. FYI, I have drawn porn at some point. I think I've mentioned that in the podcast before, though.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise. It's hilarious. I would draw it much better now, but and maybe I should just to make my shame go away, because it was not good. It was okay.
I don't know. It's
fine.
It looked like it was involved. Like, it didn't look like they were, like, hovering around each other. Like, they looked like they were interacting with each other.
We would illustrate bullshit. She also saw the other things we did. Like sometimes we would draw them as armadillos, and then, like, it was just stupid. It was a cute picture, and there was just the armadillo tongue was just on the other one. It's just
or draw
stupid.
Them as hamsters, and the one showing off his gigantic balls. Yeah.
Because we were talking about hamsters, and we were like, oh my god, that is the worst thing, that they just have giant balls. And, can you imagine people like that? They just had, like, pants that... have you seen the man with, like, the 100-pound balls?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Basically like that. That's, like, what hamsters are. We thought it was funny. Also, we were, like, 17 and 18. We thought it was hilarious. And it still is. And we were right. So... But, yeah, there's Nazis. I usually don't draw Nazis. And I say Nazis because I just do. But...
So, this was a commission...
Yeah, it was
one
like...
of them was a murderer. One of them
was like a Nazi, and one was a
what's the
Russian...
the star?
I think it was like Russian? Yeah, Russian star thing. I'm not really sure. I could go in my DeviantArt notes to figure it out, but... it was eventually finished. I just don't know. I've deleted it from my DeviantArt gallery because I was like, I don't really want people to see that I drew a Nazi, even if it was for a commission.
I have my own personal feelings about people that romanticize Nazis. And a lot of that because my family is German, and my family escaped World War II is when they immigrated here in America. Mostly because they did not want to be any part of that shit. Good on them. But here in this country, they were ridiculed pretty heavily because they were German, and it was about that time when they thought that spies had come over and that.
Well, they weren't wrong. There were actually some spies.
So it's actually it was like my great grandfather used to. I think he had told people that we were Polish or something, something where it wasn't related with that, and he had learned English like as fast as he could, and so it was a bit of a shame in our family that, we did not want to be associated with that. So, because, they faced a lot of prejudice against, it was mostly Wisconsin and Illinois and stuff, where they just, people thought that people were distrustful of them.
They thought people they were Nazis?
They didn't want to relate with them. So, I like I said, I have a sort of a personal stance on when people are like, oh, I'm just going to make romantic Nazi coon, and I cannot.
You mean
stand that.
You mean like Italia?
Italia's a little bit different.
I think that's awful.
Well, it's not like Hitler Chan, like there was one person on DeviantArt I came across, and she wanted to it was like her OC making out with Hitler and stuff, and
you gotta wonder that's a little beyond what I would.
It's a surface bullshit thing. It has a sort of dangerousness to it. That it's taboo, and that's why people gravitate towards it. And the exact same thing can be said for, perhaps when a coworker of ours talks about shooting up the place. It's a romanticized bullshit that, for me, it really singles out how incredibly privileged and sheltered a person is. If they're like, oh, I'm just going to draw Nazis because they're dangerous bad
I think
boys.
there's a right way and a wrong way to draw them. With this person, the reason why I agreed is because they had a story, and these are characters from the story. It wasn't just like a Nazi or a Soviet communist for their sake. It was part of the story and part of the characters, and it's like, okay, I don't mind doing that.
Yeah.
Because if part of my family is Jewish, and
that's true.
Yeah, and although they weren't in Germany, they were in Russia, and they're, because basically people in Russia in the 1880s, they liked to murder Jewish people and kill their families in front of them and rape the women and children. It was really bad. The pogroms were really bad.
Well, that's the thing. So, it's there's a lot of bad shit that happened associated with all of this, and still that's. It really shows how out of touch people can be.
If you draw Hitler Chan, that's really dumb. But if you draw I have this story and these characters just happen to be in these things, but it's about the overarching thing, I don't mind that as much.
That's not as bad. But there was a person on FA one time that they wanted good advice for making a really merciless essentially Hitler's son sort of thing. They wanted to make a really dictator Nazi character, but they wanted to do the right type of uniform for it, and then he was also going to get in wacky shenanigans with essentially her. It was a similar fucking thing, and I remember just sort of losing my shit over that. I'm like, how about you just not do stupid shit like this, or get off your ass and do your own goddamn research.
Well, if it was any other would you have been okay with it if it had been any other,
which other?
I don't know. What if it was the Japanese Imperial Army or the?
I would still think it was stupid, but I wouldn't have as much, I guess, fervent disgust
because they murdered more people than I would say the Nazis did.
But
so,
maybe it's more that this sort of thing hits a little closer to home.
Okay,
I think it's mostly that it was a gigantic shame in my family to have this heritage, and then to have people these people that murdered an absolute ton of people are number one A-okay, you know? They're actually really sensitive individuals.
That's why I prefer World
just
War
hate
One.
Jewish people.
Like, that's why I prefer World War One costumes, because people don't seem to care as much. Like, if I would draw, like...
It's less charged.
Yeah, like German... Well, one, they're hilarious because they have little, like, you know, like, little nuggets on their head and stuff. And it was still at a time when the French army was like, let's just have everything in bright blue and bright red, and nothing bad could ever come of this. And
we'll blend it with the sky.
Yeah, because it was still... That was, like, one of the first, like, modern wars that they realized that this is not glorious anymore. It was one of the first turning points for that. And
yeah.
I would say the first modern war would be like the American Civil War. That's one of the first ones with like Gatling guns at the very end. And you know, modern tactics. And I really like this stuff. I'm weird, but that's why I didn't mind that as much, because there was a story, and I don't have any, you know, I can understand the appeal, and because it was a character that had a story behind it instead of just like Hitler-chan, you know, it was okay. I was fine with it. So I think it was like some detective, like investigative thing. And that's fine. And also, the Germans and the Soviets at one point were allies, and then they became enemies. So that sort of dynamic is very interesting to me.
I don't deny that there can be an interesting dynamic, but my stance is with just...
Okay, well, sorry for offending you
Hitler crap is just
7 years ago today.
So, the reason I asked if he was a zombie is that your German guy, he looks like he just has, like, a very clear mark across his face where he has different skin.
No, I think that's just a scar, and it's really poorly rendered.
Well, yeah, it's just, like, you have it, like, lighter...
Here, zoom in. Can you... How far... Well, I didn't draw big back then.
Oh, this is fairly big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just seems like his cheek just sort of...
Oh, yeah, he kind of does have that... What is that Japanese one where he's, like, a doctor, and he, like, has that... You know what I'm talking about, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's like the... Oh, God. I never liked it, so I never watched it. But, no, it's just a poor rendering. Like, there's no, like...
He also has a very, like sloped back, like... I don't know, he looks
it's
like he
really
has,
bad.
like,
I honestly...
genetic condition.
Yeah. At that point, I don't think I had looked at it.
He has high eye syndrome here.
He also has... anime mouth syndrome.
He's got side
very
mouth.
Very dangerous.
He's got a very strong case of side mouth.
He does. And,
I just like to think of him as like a flounder or something, like just
like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog has like side mouth really bad.
Does he?
Yeah. Hey guys, let's get some chili dogs. Defeat Dr. Robotnik, or what is he now? Eggman?
Yeah.
Eggman. That's stupid, by the way. He's Dr. Robotnik, not Eggman.
Maybe
also, you shouldn't like Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'm just offending everybody. If you like Nazis, fuck you. If you like Sonic the Hedgehog, fuck you even more.
No, see, I actually...
Even worse.
If they like it from a historical context, and they actually admire, like, the intricacies of war and things like that, and they're interested in that nerdy bullshit, I don't mind as much, because usually they're not doing it for the sake of Nazis. They're doing it for the sake of... Basically, there's a giant clusterfuck.
There's a traversable terrain in this type of thing. I agree that there's a way to write this type of thing correctly. That being said,
you would never do it, and that's fine. Yeah, I personally have
that doesn't tend to be what people go down.
Well, but I also don't cater to 13-year-olds who like Hitler. So, just saying. I think there's a time... No, that's just...
black mark coming on here.
Bangs. I don't know. She's poorly rendered bangs. Just like, bam. No, it's literally just, I think, a poorly... It's either... Oh, you know what it could be?
Horns.
No, it's a eye patch, I think. A part of an eye patch, and then I just poorly rendered the hell out of it.
Didn't finish the...
Well, no, because I guess it goes under his hair, but I just poorly rendered it. Because if you look, I think he does have an eye patch on there. Or something. I think that's why.
As I can stand right now, it just looks like he has an
incredibly tiny forehead.
He's got brain case issues.
He does.
This one, it doesn't really go under the hair.
It doesn't. It
goes under this part of the hair.
Andrew, I don't know how to say this, but I have no excuses to give. It's not.
I just like their
the sketches.
I like their 5-fingered hands. Here.
I swear, I finished it, and I'm so upset I won't find the, but because honestly, like, the colors, I think at this point, when I was painting, was okay.
Yeah, no, I like the colors on them.
Yeah, it's like the skin color is a little muddy, and I like how I rendered the flags. I think that was fine.
I do like the flags.
And then they could be more contrasty.
I mostly just picked this because
of Nazis.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, well...
Also, it was in a sea of porn, and I needed an escape. So
it's really, really funny that you just happened. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Because I saw the porn happening. I'm like, oh, thank God she skipped some of it. And then she didn't. And of course,
no, then we had to go back and see if there was
No, there was more. I'm glad you skipped over it. So, don't go there. It's mine. It's my terrible sin.
To be fair, it's on my computer. And your photo bucket has been up for weeks.
Okay, well, if you want to look through my terrible drawn porn...
I keep telling you, it doesn't do anything for me.
Well, it should.
It doesn't... Yeah, probably it should, but it doesn't.
It shouldn't. It's not that good. One, it's not beautiful in the way that porn should be. Hey.
I have never heard that sentence go together. People doing it is the funniest fucking thing.
You can draw it well. Like, I watched someone on Tumblr who draws porn, and she draws it goddamn beautifully. And that is what porn should be. Not just like a dick just going out. It has to be artistically good.
Not these melting people.
Yeah, it has to be
shaking
like
violently, and they look like they're just vibrating.
If I ever draw porn, I'd want it have to be artistically valid. Like, there have to be something beautiful about it that goes beyond just the sexual, erotic nature of it. No, I'm serious. I'm really serious. I don't mind drawing porn. For me, it's just that part that people tend to like the raunchier, shitty porn instead of like the good porn that is actually artistic and beautiful. Erotic art, I would say it would be.
I believe that would be qualified as erotic art. Yes.
There we go. And Andrea's laughing like she's 5, but you know.
Well, I'm not sure I really.
You're just not into it. So.
Well, I don't really want to bring up why on podcast. It's not Andrew's.
It's because I'm a deviant.
I played with fireworks, so I've got.
Yeah, she did.
I'm just as bad of a person.
Yeah, we're all bad in different ways. So there you go.
I told my dad that that you thought I was a bad person because I played with fireworks.
You were.
He's like, she is the most sheltered person I've ever heard of.
I was told not to play with fireworks, and I didn't. Because I listened to my parents because they had a reason.
When you do that, it
does it?
The microphone really badly.
Well, when you grabbed it from me, it did.
Well, that's the thing, is like it'll pop up in there. It'll be like
I didn't hear. I'm not hearing it. Oh, okay.
That's because it's hopefully not. Because that would be a big pain in the ass to try.
Okay. I was doing it so it would stop stinging, but yeah, like no, I thought she was a bad like that's not something I did. I never did anything dangerous as a kid.
You're missing out.
No, I'm not, because a lot of kids got hurt and I didn't. Fuck those other kids.
I got all my fingers, so.
She does, but that doesn't mean all children have all their fingers, because some of them are stupid. And some of them are like, oh man, I really like this snapping, turtle. Let's just put my hand in there, because they're stupid, and they don't respect anything.
I don't think that really qualifies as fireworks level. If you put your fucking hand in a snapping turtle
thing. What kid wants to play with fireworks? I think they're loud and annoying. They're not even fun. They don't do anything but make an explosion. You have never played with them.
You can't say
I've set off fireworks before, and I would run for my life. Were they sparklers? No, they were actual fireworks that you shoot up from tubes. I helped my dad and my uncle, and we well, we had one that we had one where it sort of fell out and did the wrong thing, and that was kind of startling. But
was it a big one? Or?
Yeah, it was like the ones that are the wheel ones. So we were on a dock, and of course we were surrounded by water. But then there was a wheel one, and I guess the wheel sort of detached. And it was just like, there were just rockets attached to it, so it was freaking out. So I don't like fireworks. I think they're dumb.
My favorite one is something my dad used to get, was called the Happy Pagoda. And what it was like a really stereotypical, like traditional Chinese, like multi-leveled, like temple thing. But then on the inside, it would just have an American flag. But the way that the fireworks were positioned, the flag would come up because it would like it would just like put these little things that would be like psss, and then it would put like the next level of the pagoda up, and it was essentially like a nesting doll.
Bless you.
But more often than not, when it finally got to the top, the flag shot up and it was on fire. The American flag.
That's what
I'm like, yeah, pretty
China.
Sure.
We don't make anything in the U.S. anymore because China got us.
No, like you said, other fireworks. Now, the actual dangerous thing I did play with was M80s, which is a quarter stick of dynamite.
Those are tomato bombs, right? Or is that what they call them? Cherry bombs?
Cherry bombs are definitely not M80s.
Okay, see, I don't know the lingo.
Cherry bombs are quite a bit... M80s are illegal in all 50 states. I'll put it that way.
Why?
Because it's a quarter stick of dynamite.
Why would you have that?
because it blew shit up. It was cool.
Why would you want to do that?
So we, my dad got a box of them from his friend at work one time.
Oh my God.
And it was essentially the finale to anything. They're like, well, you know, we would shoot fire. What we used to do is we would build boats. And it would just be like a plank of wood, you know, and then we would find some garage sale figurine, some old, you know,
so you'd make shrapnel.
No, we wouldn't make shrapnel, but we would like sort of, well, a little bit.
Oh my God.
So we would like shoot rockets at each other's like boats trying to sink them. And then eventually it got to the end, they're like, yeah, let's just put some M80s on there. You know, and... Andrea, I am so disappointed you.
I don't know what to say. Like, that's really bad that your dad encouraged that. That's really... your friend's so sheltered. Yeah. I also didn't get any... I wasn't in any danger from fireworks.
I still have all my fingers.
I will admit this. There were kids... And of course, I was the same age as them because this was in college in Richmond. And there were kids... I call them kids because they were freshmen and not a junior like I was. And they decided to set off fireworks illegally right next to all the wooden buildings that I lived in. So my entire office smelled like gunpowder. And I was pissed. And I basically went out and I started yelling at them and saying, what the hell are you doing? Go out to the goddamn park or I'm going to call the police. And, oh, man, you don't have to be so uptight about it. And I'm a very uptight person. Do not set off fireworks near my house. If you do something illegal, I will call the police on you because it bothers me, because it's unsafe. You're putting my safety at risk by having fun.
Is that a general thing or is that a direct threat?
Well, no, if you I don't know, if you jaywalk, that's
well, you're
not
looking at me like, if you do something illegal, I'm going to call the police on you. It's just like...
Oh, sorry. I mean you as in a general,
right, okay,
setting off
fireworks.
If someone decided to go in my backyard and, set off fireworks, I would call the damn police. Because screw them for having fun, that puts me in danger. I'm sorry, I'm an asshole, and I cannot stop that. It's not fun to me, and it makes me actually just physically ill, and I want to punish them with the police.
Do you like popping balloons?
No, they make loud noises.
Okay, no,
she's just nodding.
I'm saying that because it definitely seems like a sort of control thing over something else somebody else is doing, which is unpredictable, but it also makes sporadic loud sounds. So that sounds like somebody that would be really afraid of popping balloons. I don't like popping balloons.
I don't like loud sounds at all. I don't like going to concerts without earplugs. I don't. I'm serious, I really don't. I don't like loud sounds because they make me angry, and I'll feel the vibration in my chest, and I just get angry, and it feels very uncomfortable.
No, I lived with you for a year, and... I definitely remember you're like, there's a vibration in my chest, they're playing music next door, I have to go talk to them.
They were, except that one time when it was actually the dishwasher.
It was the fucking dishwasher.
They had been gone, it was funny, I thought it was them, and it was actually, they had been gone for 2 months, and it was just the dishwasher.
Yeah, the fucking place was empty, and he came back and it was the fucking dishwasher.
Oh, I called the police on them because they were playing... music
for the dishwasher thing?
No.
Okay.
No, just the times when the one time, but then the police didn't come fast enough that one time, so I decided to just go over there and tell them to shut up.
They did play their music at really random times.
11 o'clock on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
And it would be house rattlingly loud.
Yeah, we were in the basement and the vibration was intense.
I'm not denying that was stupid of them to do that, but
it was. I think it might have been a cultural thing, and they weren't aware that in America you just don't fucking do that. And
they were a Hispanic family.
I was polite to them, and they were fine. The husband spoke English. I'm just surprised
I thought it was mostly the kid you spoke to.
The kid spoke English, but
the kid was my friend.
Your 3DS friend.
From my 3DS, because we would just keep street passing each other just constantly because our rooms are literally right across the way. So she was my street pass friend 19 times, and all of a sudden she didn't come anymore, and that was because
they moved.
They got kicked out.
Well, yeah, because they destroyed the property that they were renting. They would do, and
anyways,
of course, yeah.
Anyways,
and before people think I'm racist, half my family is Hispanic, so don't think I'm just
black friends, so it's totally fine.
My cousins are Cuban. It's okay.
I'm just saying, it's before anybody thinks I'm...
That's the whitest thing for me to say.
It
also,
is.
I'm very white.
You have to provide a disclaimer, actually, I have a Cuban friend. Yeah, that's really...
No, I mean, it could have been a cultural thing where they just didn't realize it wasn't standard, and that's why I wasn't rude to them when I went up. But I was really pissed, but I didn't show it to them. Of course I'm angry. I have to go out of there at 11 on a Wednesday because they're blasting music and they're like, and they're very quiet because they have a huge party going on and they have a child, so it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, no, that family was generally.
And the woman, like, one time I knocked on the door and the woman who didn't speak any English just looked at me. She just stared at me and then she just, like, faded into the darkness. It was like, what? So it's like just things like that. It could have been anyone. But it was really hilarious sometimes, and it, at least that was a really fun fading into darkness moment. It's just like, should I have called the police? Now it's really quiet. What's happening?
All right, I don't have anything more for this.
Okay, yeah, it's just full of Nazis, and we talked about it, and it's probably good to talk about that stuff because it is something that comes up in art a lot.
It does. It honestly does, and especially if you do a lot of commissions for people randomly on the internet, that also comes up a lot.
I would prefer, if anyone ever commissions me for war-related things, I prefer, like, the Soviet Union ones because I think their clothes are really cool. Also, they have little red stars, and it's neat.
There you go.
I'm not a communist
They
at
just
all.
look like they have poop all over their face.
They do. It's really poorly rendered, and I'm sorry. At least the flags look okay. But they're not contrasty enough, so I kind of pissed off by them.
No,
because
they fade into the background, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Because they are background, so...
Yep. Well, now Andrea knows my dark secrets. My dark Nazi secrets. My dark porn secrets. There you go.
Definitely the porn was a bit of a surprise, yeah.
I told you about it. You knew about it.
Well, I was seeing hamsters doing it, okay? I wasn't seeing
we
actual
drew a
human
lot of
beings fucking each other, and everybody looks like they're just rattling on their gourds, and they're oily. Oily, and they look like they're made of melting wax.
I was not good at drawing people. And there you go.
No,
and because you mentioned the hamsters, now people are going to think, oh, she drew animal porn? What an asshole. No, it was a joke thing. They were joke illustrations.
I only got off to it a little bit. You still drew them, like...
Yeah, because when you have a joke and you're talking to your friend on MSN, that doesn't exist anymore. Of course you're going to draw it.
Is that the little boy person?
What? No, she had disappeared into the night a couple years prior to that, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, because this would have been like 2008, 2009, and I think I stopped talking to little boy person around 2006 or 7. I think 2007 or 8. So basically, this friend, there you go. Because it was in early college, so
the early college years.
Yep, there you go. I've drawn porn. I'm sorry to admit it. It's not very good.
They're just so shaky looking.
Everyone shakes and rattles when they have sex. That's just what happens.
It just looks like they look like the human the personification of like an old 1920s car, like a 1920s buggy, where it's just like just like shaking and rattling.
The Model
around.
T.
Yeah, pretty much. It looked like two oily, waxy Model Ts as human beings doing each other.
Andrea is being a lot more vivid about the description. It's just really badly drawn. It's bad.
I'd put it up if it wouldn't get us banned from YouTube.
No, please don't. It's also it's not especially explicit either. It's just kind of bad. So
yeah, it's not like big.
It's not like big hunkin' dongs
big
and stuff.
shots and
it's
stuff.
not that.
It's just people
hugging
closely hugging each other, and some of their pants are down sometimes.
I really hope my mom doesn't hear this because she's gonna be like, "Oh my
Baby
God,
Jesus is bawling his eyes out."
Kristen, this isn't what Jesus wanted.
It isn't. Jesus didn't want
Jesus
this.
is a carpenter.
Jesus didn't die for this shit.
I'll have to carve explicit porn out of wood for it to count in Jesus' eyes.
Okay.
That was really blasphemous. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Well,
it's been a pretty bad one this time.
We're so sorry. I hope you don't think less of me. You do. It's okay.
All right, get something to be musical with, and don't you dare pick that thing up. No, that's a specialized piece of equipment. I think we used the scissors before.
I'm laying down a fat beat.
I'm gonna use this Mosasaurus. Look at it. Da-da-da-da-da, porn everywhere, and we both at it, but we can't show it because it's really weird. Da-da-da. Nazis and FridgeArt. Send your stuff to FridgeArtPodcast@gmail.com.
And we'll critique it.
If you want to critique it.
If you want to.
Alright, bye.